Hi, I am Esther from 9 Feet Tall, and I'm really pleased to be joined today by Sian Ashton. Sian is Client Service Transformation Partner at TLT. Today we're going to talk about LPM, Legal Project Management, and how TLT have succeeded in successfully building LPM capability within their business. So, Sian, my first question really is if you can describe what you've actually put in place around LPM within TLT.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have been doing LPM as a sort of sideline, lawyers doing it as a sideline for years and years. I was one of those lawyers doing LPM, any project that came in, I would do little bits of project management and I would sort of develop it and move it along. And we thought that was fine. But then a group of us got together and realized that actually we needed to be a bit more structured about it. We needed to be more precise, more thought out about it. And we thought actually, rather than just having embedded lawyers within the business who did a bit of project management off the side of their desk, it would be much more effective if we had a legal project management team and maybe have some legal project managers rather than lawyers playing at being legal project managers. And so that's what we did. So we got 9 Feet Tall in, which was fantastic. So you came in and gave us some consultancy services to help us plan out what legal project management at TLT looks like, how we were going to get there, what we needed to put in place. And we did the sort of first steps towards getting a team and put in place a team. Probably we started off about 12 months ago when we sort of launched. So we'd done sort of 6 months of prep with a consultant from 9 Feet Tall, and then we launched a year ago.
Fine. Okay, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. And where are you now on your journey?
Well, it's great because, we started and we weren't quite sure where we'd get to. LPM as a sort of concept, still quite new. As a firm, we were talking to people and trying to get them engaged and, trying to use them. And I was very kind of bullish and saying, we need loads of LPMs in place. But there's a little bit of a delay in putting that in place. But now we've got a team of 6. We've got a head of LPM, so I don't have to be that person anymore. So I can step back from that slightly. We've got senior LPM, we've got junior LPM, we've got sort of a spread of people. We're branching out now slightly. So we've got legal business analysts as well in the team. So we're sort of trying to cover both sides of that kind of project management and process optimization we've got a new guy starts on the 7th of June as well. So we're continuing to grow. It's really exciting.
Good. Oh, and it's good. It's great to see the progress. Clearly we've been with you for a while, so it's great to see that journey and that progress. In terms of LPM and having got to the stage that you are now, what impact has it had on the client experience?
I think it's really interesting to see the impact on the client because, I think naively you can think that LPM is just to do with projects. And, so whenever you have a project, you project manage that and you get it set up right. And that's great. And of course, that works well on clients like that. What's really interesting is where you use LPM on transactions, on cases, on matters. And you've got clients who suddenly have a lot more transparency and visibility about the matters and cases and transactions that they're working on. We're finding that scope creep is really minimized, or if it happens, that the clients are told about it, which, we've been talking to clients for ages, and that's one of their key pain points when they talk about the frustrations with law firms is that scope creep and not being told about it until the end of the deal. And you're like, oh yeah, and that thing, that's another 50 grand. So we're finding that's having a lot more of a positive impact. But even just that kind of interaction with the client that an LPM can have, the sort of, interacting with them, finding out how their journey is going, how that links in with us. I think that's a really positive thing, and clients that sort of seem really pleased about the involvement of legal project managers, particularly in clients where they've got project managers themselves, where they're sort of aware of that as a concept. I think that is a huge synergy there for them.
Yeah. And how did you find it within the team? So clearly when you talk LPM, often people perceive it as more governance or more bureaucracy. How did you manage to engage your teams and get them involved?
There's definitely an element of that. And I think also an idea that LPM is about just admin. And so we found sort of, just talking to people sort of one-on-one, they're, a little bit dismissive. I'm the lawyer, I'm sort of running my transaction. I don't need support on that. So we ran rodeos, ran these sort of interactive workshops, really, is what they were, to try and get the lawyers, particularly sort of senior stakeholders, to think about what their pain points were when they were running matters, and to try and get them to understand that actually what they really enjoy doing is the law. They want to be the ones doing the really clever hard law bit, coming up with the cunning solutions. They don't want to be chasing people and managing the client, managing their, making sure they've got the right resource in place, seeing if there's any technology that you can apply. And suddenly when you started talking to them about it like that, they could really see the benefit. And what we've since found is that the rodeos were great for getting the message out there. And the early adopters have then been such advocates who it has revolutionized their way of operating. And they're so glad that they can go back to the day job of being a lawyer, which is why they do it. I got out, I became a legal project manager, but they want to be lawyers, and they're being freed up. Instead of being a partner, basically managing the case and managing and all of that kind of thing, they're doing the strategically important law, which is what they want to do.
Yeah, it is. That's a proper win-win, isn't it? So helping both parties. And having gone through the journey, what's your biggest lesson that you take away?
I think it's that you need a catalyst, because we've been, like I said, we've been doing legal project management at the firm for years, and there's lots of people who've wanted to do more, but there was never that kind of catalyst to change. And so you need sort of maybe a client needs to keep talking about it as a concept. Some of the bigger, more institutionalized clients who maybe have come across this, them saying it's a good idea, that's always helpful. But then also, I think you need a catalyst for change. COVID has been brilliant. I mean, so bad, awful, and it's so hard for everybody, and particularly hard for some people. But it has given us the ability to say, you want to do things differently. You need to do things differently. Look, you're sat at home. How are you going to manage this? It's multifaceted. There's so many limbs, there's so many levels. We could have one person doing that for you and leave you. And suddenly that is really sort of revolutionizing the way that people look at this. So I think it doesn't have to be as brutal as COVID. I don't think you need a catalyst like COVID, but it's certainly, it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, and COVID is interesting. It's probably, they're saying that 5 years worth of change has been delivered in the space of 5 months. So it's definitely accelerated the delivery of change.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good. Well, just one final question, really. I guess for those people out there considering LPM, is there a single piece of advice that you would give them?
Definitely. I think you need some expert advice. Don't think that you can do it all yourself. Like I'm a lawyer. I was a lawyer for a long time. And I also did legal project management, but I was self-taught because I knew how to do it. And I think there is a danger that you then think that you can develop and build a legal project management function for your firm because you have self-taught yourself. Actually, what we learned from getting you guys involved when we got 9 Feet Tall in to consult for us, we learned so much, and it really helped us on our journey because it sort of pushed us forward and it accelerated us. I think we are much further ahead now because we had 9 Feet Tall helping us and, working with us and developing something that's right for TLT. It's not, it's not the kind of, it wasn't out of the box, this is 9 Feet Tall's way of doing LPM. It was a real collaborative effort, but I think we moved so much further forward and were given tools that we wouldn't have necessarily had ourselves. And I think that's the thing. Don't try and go alone. Get experts in. It's fine to ask for help.
Good. Well, thank you, and it has been a pleasure working with you on it as well. So it's great to see, even checking in. I know it's been a while ago, checking in to see the progress that you've made and what you've built. So definitely something to be proud of, and I'm sure you'll continue to build on that as well. So thank you very much for your time today.
You're very welcome.
So thank you everyone for listening as well, and I hope you have a good rest of the week.